As you are probably aware by now, I do normally do these Omnibus videos at the end of each card reveal season. As EX10 is literally around the corner, I thought you guys might like to hear my voice one more time about some of those cards that you might be looking forward to, or maybe just like me and just want to play with Beelzemon. So, catch you for some new reveals after you've heard the Omnibus. EX10 releasing more of their Appmon support with Cabimon for a play cost of 3 at 1000 DP, or Digivolves me Black level 2 for a cost of 0, or the Appmon trait. And so far we got some pretty good Appmons. Security at the end of battle, play this card without paying the cost. Link cost of 1 for 2000 DP, and then when attacking by trashing one of this Digimon's linked cards, Digivolve 1 of your opponent's Digimon, which if you talk to replay is the best form of removal. I still think it's DP minus. Copymon for a play cost of 3, 1000 DP, Digivolves me Purple level 2 for a cost of 0, or the Appmon trait for a cost of 0. On play, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck, add 1 card with the Appmon trait and 1 card with the Leviathan trait amongst them to the hand, return the rest to the bottom of the deck. For an app cost of 1, gain 2000 DP, and then when attacking by trashing one of this Digimon's linked cards, you may return 1 Appmon traded Digimon card from the trash to the hand. In a deck that will cycle through its stuff by just attacking, it's always good to get some triggers back for your Appmon to use. And then finally, Minumon, play cost of 6, 6000 DP, Digivolves me Purple or a Green for the cost of 3, or the standard traded Appmon for a cost of 3. Appfuse from Miramon, who we haven't seen yet, Cabimon, and Copipemon for a cost of 0, with jamming and retaliation. Your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon gets linked, if you have one or fewer Tamers, you may play 1 Tamer card with the Leviathan trait from your hand, without paying the cost. Link cost of 2 to gain 3000 DP, and then all turns when any of your opponent's Digimon suspend by trashing one of this Digimon's linked cards, draw 1 and gain 1 memory, which is a really good trait. All in all, I'm looking forward to more Appmon support. Surprisingly enough, I was going to take the original Appmon deck to locals today, but unfortunately for the locals, my children need my love. Bandai will never beat the allegations of all those child soldier fighter rings that we keep seeing every generation or so. With Ryoma Megami, for a play cost of 4, start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, set it to 3. Your turn, when any of your Digimon Digivolve into a Digimon with save in its text by suspending this Tamer and placing 1 Digimon card with save in its text from under your Tamers as that Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, that Digimon gains Alliance for the turn, which, that's not nothing, man, that's a pretty good skill. With you and Nini coming as the duo pair once again, for a play cost of 4, start off your main phase by placing 1 Bagra Army or Twilight traded Digimon card from your hand or trash under this Tamer, draw 1. All turns when any of your Bagra Army or Twilight traded Digimon cards with Digicross requirements would be played, by suspending this Tamer, 1 card from under your Tamers and 1 card in your trash can also be placed for their Digicross. That's actually just really good. And then the stinky poopy face, Digimon Emperor, also known as Ken Ichijoji, for a play cost of 5. Start off your main phase, for every 2 colors your opponent's Digimon and Tamers have, gain 1 memory. On play, delete one of your opponent's play cost 5 or lower Digimon. Then, by returning 1 Digimon card from your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck, from your hand or trash, and without paying the cost, you may play 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card with the same color as the card this effect returned. To be fair, this is probably DM support for the Chimeramon deck, which still doesn't make the Chimeramon deck any better, but a lot of people have complained that you can't play this card for free. And although I do agree, the normal way, you can still do it this way. With Bandai releasing more from EX10, today we have the key players from the Bagra Army playlist. Blastmon for a play cost of 13, 13,000 DP. Digivolves me Black or a Purple lower 5 for a cost of 5. Has Collision, Fragment Free, and Blocker. Man, this guy's stacked. On play, when Digivolving until your opponent's turn ends, give one of their Digimon start of your main phase this Digimon attacks. All turns, once per turn, when Digimon attack by trashing any 2 of this Digimon's Digivolution cards, this Digimon gains Security Attack +1 and 3000 DP until the end of your turn, which is actually really good at getting massive security and DP going through to your turn after your opponent attacks you. So win. Digicross -2. 3 Digimon cards with the Bagra Army trait, making this now a 7 cost to play if you have 3 underneath. But today we are joined by a special guest in Terriermon assist.
The background army trained Digimon are a blight on our eyes and mind. Oh, hail the glory of the big titty guff mummies!
Thanks for those encouraging words, Terriermon. Lilithmon, with a play cost of 11,000 DP. Digivolves me level 5 purple for a cost of 3. On play, when digivolving until your opponent's turn ends, give one of their Digimon or Tamers end of your turn, delete one of your Digimon. All turns, once per turn, when any of your opponent's Digimon are played or deleted by trashing any 2 of this Digimon's Digivolution cards, you may play a 1 level 4 or lower purple Digimon card from your trash without paying the cost, which is a fairly good effect. Digicross 2 Digimon cards with the Bagra Army trait, making this a 7 play cost Digimon if you can find 2 more Merciless Souls to join this army. Overall, despite having much fun with Terriermon today, I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Bagra is going to do, and hopefully we get one more card, being Dark Knightmon. With EX10 and its purple assortment of cards that never seem to be ending, today we have School Satamon, a card that we see every now and again in the Digimon card game. With a play cost of 8,000 DP, Digivolves level 4 purple for a cost of 3. Blocker, when Digivolving and on deletion, if your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in their trash, trash the top 3 cards of both players' decks. Then, delete one of your opponent's level 3 or lower Digimon. If your opponent has 10 or more cards in the trash, add 2 to this level's maximum. So, to be fair, it can be quite good later in the game if you are trying to rebuild that second stack. Also considered a Fallen Angel for some of those decks that do look for the Angel or Fallen or any Angel variant traits, as well as being an Undead, which we don't really have an Undead deck currently. Yes, we technically have Nightmare Soldier, but I don't necessarily think that's an Undead deck, it just has non-living things in it. Inherited effect, when attacking once per turn, this Digimon gains Security Attack +1 for the turn. If your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in the trash instead, trash the top 2 cards of both players' decks. I would prefer it to be the other way around. I'd like to know the fact that I will trash 2 cards if my opponent doesn't have 10 cards in trash, but if they do, I gain Security Attack for the turn. I would much prefer that. Also, this is quite an interesting thing, because if he gains it for the turn, it means that if this then gets removed via source removal, you don't lose a source because it's already been given to the Digimon. So I quite like the effect being it's a once per turn when attacking you gain Security Attack +1, so the idea is that you're not gaining Security Attack +1 and then if it spends you gain it twice. I'm happy with that, that's pretty cool. And then everyone's favourite Creepymon for play cost of 12,000 DP, Digivolves make red or a purple level 5 for a cost of 4. When Digivolving and on deletion, delete all of your opponent's lowest DP Digimon. If this effect didn't delete, trash their top 5 cards off their deck. When attacking, if your opponent has 10 or more cards in their trash, you may play 1 red or purple 5,000 DP or lower Digimon card from your trash to the empty breeding area without paying the cost. End of your turn, this Digimon may attack, which essentially makes the middle effect work every time. Also considered a Fallen Angel, but it's also a Demon Lord and one of the 7 Great Demon Lords. It is an SR, and I'm not too sure how I feel about this. I was hoping for kind of more 7 Great Demon Lord support with no on play. It does make it a bit awkward, but with the on deletion, you are generally going to be getting rid of this Digimon at the end of the following turn. Or if your opponent just wants to remove it with a deletion effect. All in all though, I'm happy to see more purple cards and more 7 Great Demon Lords. Although, it don't really seem to be for the Great Demon Lord deck, but that is probably the case as they're meant to be their own style of deck. EX10 is really bringing the dark side of Digimon to you, me, and every cute little dinosaur that you know. With today's reels from Gulse Gamamon, for a play cost of 5,000 DP, or Digivolves may red, or a purple level 3 for a cost of 3, or a Gamamon for a cost of 2. On play, when Digivolving, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, then you may place 1 Digimon card with the Gamamon in its name from the trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card. Your turn, once per turn, when effects add to this Digimon's Digivolution cards, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Regulusmon in the hand or trash with the Digivolution cost reduced by 1. Inherited effect, Raid. Being a purple and a red Digimon, having access to a Raid as an inheritable, especially with the next Digimon we're going to see, is crazier than a Calamon in a war zone that they created themselves. Regulusmon, for a playcost of 10,000 DP, Digivolves from a red or a purple level 4 for a cost of 5, or a level 4 Gamamon in name for a cost of 5. We do have other colours I suppose, but generally speaking, maybe if it costs 4. Rush, Blocker, on play. When digivolving, you may place up to 5 different named Digimon cards with Gammon in their names from your trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards. Then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much or less DP as this Digimon. End of your turn, once per turn. If this Digimon has 5 or more Digivolution cards, it may attack without suspending. Well, it does have Rush. Your turn, once per turn. When any of your opponent's Digimon are deleted, gain 1 memory. This is a very good card, and with access to other such gems from BT21, I can see Gammon going pretty far in the current meta. Good day, Tamers! Welcome back to some more EX10 fun stuff, and today it's time for the Bagra armies in between bits 2. Filling some spaces, and they're pretty good spaces to be filled today. We have Choo-Choo-Mon, Chugga Chugga, with a play cost of 4, 1000 DP, will digivolve from a purple level 2 for a cost of 0. Start of your main phase, you may place 1 Digimon card with the Bagra Army trait from your hand or trash as any of your Bagra Armor traits Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, or under any of your Bagra Army traded Tamers. Well. Inherited effect, when effects trash this card from a Bagra Army traded Digimon's Digivolution cards, draw 1. Say that 10 times fast. I can't. Daemon, for a play cost of 4, 3000 DP, digivolves from a level 3 purple for a cost of deuce. I'll play by placing a 1 Bagra Army traded Digimon card from your hand or trash under any of your Tamers, draw 1. That is shockingly good. On deletion, you may play 1 Tuamon with a play cost of 7 or less from under your Tamers without paying the cost. Then, save. Inherited effect, when effects trash this card from a Bagra Army traded Digimon's Digivolution cards, draw 1. Same as the last one, but still a very good effect, especially with what this deck now wants to do. And the anti-hero of the hour, Tuamon, for a play cost of 7, 7000 DP. Digivolves make a black or a purple level 3 for a cost of 3, or a Daemon for a cost of 1. Rush, Collision, on play, when digivolving, when attacking, once per turn, by trashing any 1 Digivolution card of your Bagra Army trait Digimon. One of your Bagra Army trait Digimon gains blocker and retaliation until your opponent's turn ends, which is pretty darn good, especially when you want them to crash with collision. On deletion, save, but can Digicross -2 with a Dame and a Choo-Choo, making this a free cost drop down rush collision beast of all get out. Inherited effect, when effects trash this card from a Bagra Army traded Digimon's Digivolution cards, draw 1. Overall, no complaints here. Very solid free cards for a deck that's been looking a bit spotty, and with these being revealed, hopefully the next couple of megas we should see, as well as a level 5 or 2, maybe we shall see what this deck can really do with the help of EX10. With EX10, carrying on that good old train, today we have Metal Siegramon for a play cost of 11, 11,000 DP. Hand main, if you don't have any Digimon other than Digimon with the Dark Master in their text, you may play this card with the play cost reduced by 5. At turn end, delete the Digimon this effect played. I'll play when attacking one of your opponent's Digimon and one of their Tamers can't suspend until their turn ends. All turns, this Digimon can only Digivolve into a Pokemon. On deletion, if you have no blue face-up security cards, place this Digimon's face-up as the bottom security card. But in security, if this card was face-up, you may play 1 level 5 or lower card with the Dark Masters in its text from your hand without paying the cost. Currently we haven't seen any of these, but there are some from BT15, so possibly go check out some of those for an interesting style of mix and match Dark Masters. And now for Apocalypse, for a play cost of 17, 16,000 DP, Digivolves from a level 6 with the Dark Master trait for a cost of 5. When this card would be played by placing one of each face-up Dark Master's traded card with different names from your security stack under this card, reduce the play cost by 4 for each of these cards placed. This would make it that you are playing it for a 1 cost, which is a thing if you can get all 4 underneath it. On play, when Digivolving, you may play one of each Dark Master trait card with different names from this Digimon's Digivolution cards without paying the cost. Then, all of your Dark Masters traded Digimon gain Rush for the turn. At turn's end, delete the Digimon this effect played, which, if you are keeping turn, doesn't necessarily matter too much because you will be, swinging for game probably. Just a quick note, we did get a weird leak from Gen Con today. We won't really be going over the cards that were seen in here other than showing them off quickly. I'm not sure if this is a case of, SpaghettiOs, Gen Con did a naughty, or if Gen Con were asked to actually do this to build hype. But as you can see, we do get the Alt Art Piedmon as well as the Deusmon from Appimon, which is a little bit annoying to see it as a secret once again. With EX10 basically finishing off that Black War Greymon line, today we have ourselves a Koromon and an Agumon, and the allegations of the Greymon X never coming off the limited list. With Koromon's inherent effect of all turns once per turn, when attack targets change, draw 1. This has now basically become the best ever Black Rookie, since when you change targets, if your opponent blocks you, collision, raid, vice versa. Draw machine, absolutely fantastic. This is probably the first Black Koromon where I can actually consider having a black base for any of our Digimon lines going forwards being actually competitively good. And with the new red-black Agumon, for a play cost of 3, 1000 DP, Digivolves from a black or a red for 1, or a Koromon for a cost of 0. Start of your main phase, you may return one virus traded Digimon card with Greymon in its name from your trash to the hand. Inherited effect all turns, this Digimon gets 1000 DP. Well, Greymon X Antibody just got the best news it's heard since that limited list. With today's reveals bringing more from the Appmon line, I do apologise for the late upload. Unfortunately, work had some medical emergencies and I couldn't really get away, so we're here now and time to play. With Sakusimon, get your mind out of the gutter, for a play cost of 5, 5000 DP, Digivolves from a purple level 3 for a cost of 2, or the stands for a cost of 2, and all the colours that they can be, because, you know, we're inclusive here. On play, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon, which is pretty good if you want to get rid of a stinky floodgate. All turns, once per turn, when effects trash any of this Digimon's linked cards, gain 1 whole memory. You did it, Tamer. Be proud of yourself. When linked for a cost of 2, gain 3000 DP. When attacking, by trashing one of this Digimon's linked cards, delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon, which, same as the first effect, is pretty good in situations that you need to be good in. And now time for your mind to be in the gutter, Warudamon, for a play cost of 8, 8000 DP, Digivolves from a green or purple level 4 for a cost of 4, or the support Appmon for a cost of 4, and their rainbowy ways. Will Appfuse from a Munumon and a Sakusimon, which get your mind out the gutter again. If 2 such cards are linked together, stack the linked cards on top and Digivolve correctly. Fortitude, which isn't the first time Fortitude has come up in this set, but it's a very good keyword and could probably do with being used more often. On play, when Digivolving, you may link one level 4 or lower Digimon card from your trash, or this Digimon's Digivolution cards to this Digimon without paying the cost, which is a fairly good effect. All turns, once per turn, when this Digimon gets linked, you may suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, or Tamers. It can't unsuspend in their next unsuspend phase, so until the end of their turn. Although, I'm not sure if this is really saying it doesn't unsuspend automatically, but they could unsuspend through other effects, so maybe that's where they're going with this one, so it's not as punishing if they can unsuspend in different means, maybe. Linking for a cost of 3, and gain 4000 DP. All turns, when any of your opponent's Digimon suspend, by trashing one of this Digimon's linked cards, trash your opponent's top security card, which, in a deck like this, that's pretty damn good. So, overall, the Appmon support is kind of fantastic, and I'm expecting to see more people playing Appmon in the not too distant future. With it being just another liberating day, today EX10 shows us close. And by God, she's this close to being actually good, or at least as competitive or competent as the others we've seen recently. Close, for a play cost of 3. Start of your main phase by returning this Tamer to the bottom of the deck. You may play 1 close from your hand without paying the cost, then you may play 1 Sunaraizemon from your trash without paying the cost, which in a deck that is constantly chucking out sources is going to probably be in your trash somewhere. All turns, when effects trash any of your mineral or rock trait Digimon's Digivolution cards by suspending this Tamer, gain 1 memory. And I could be wrong here, it's been a while since I looked at these cards, even though it's a very cool deck, or at least archetype. Doesn't the level 4 at the start of main phase let you trash a source? And with the other unique emblems coming in and doing basically the same thing continuously, for a use cost of 3, main, you may play 1 Sunaraizemon or close from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then place this card in the battle area. The fun thing about this, which people may or may not be forgetting, is this doesn't have a restriction of you can only have really up to 2 Tamers in the field, and then you can, you know, have to wiggle around a bit. This is essentially letting you play the 3rd or 4th close from your hand and essentially just running away the game, very possibly. Your turn, when any of your closest suspend, delay. One of your mineral or rock type trait Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with the mineral and liberator traits in the hand with the digivolution cost reduced by 3, meaning that essentially you can only really digivolve into the main line and not any of those dirty rocks that you may have in your pocket. Overall, this is very good for a deck that hasn't really seen a lot of support, but with this set having the new line and the level 7 for Pyramidimon, I'm hoping, like everyone else, that this is a good deck and a fun deck and overall worth playing because rocks is kind of fun. Well, I wasn't expecting today to be a Koki day, but with butt stuff and chains, it's definitely for you, Mr. Koki. Belphamon, Sleep Mode, for a play cost of 11,000 DP, Digivolves from level 5, Purple, for a cost of 3, or Black Box Text, Rage Mode, for a cost of 1. On play, or when digivolving by placing one Belphamon Rage Mode from your trash as this Digimon's top Digivolution card until your opponent's turn ends. This Digimon can't attack and your opponent's effects don't affect it. Opponent's turn, once per turn, when any of your opponent's Digimon suspend, by trashing 2 cards in your hand, suspend 2 of their Digimon, or Tamers, which is actually really good, I'm not gonna lie, it's a really good effect. But we've also seen today a Rage Mode, or at least a new Rage Mode, and to be fair, all the Rage Modes have been pretty good. Play cost of 14,000 DP, Digivolves from a green or a purple level 5 for a cost of 6, or the Sweepy Boy for a cost of 1. With the keyword Fortitude, which is actually quite interesting. Start of your main phase, suspend all of your opponent's level 5 or lower Digimon, then if you have 6 or fewer cards in hand, your Digimon gains Piercing, Security Attack +1, and 3000 DP for the turn. That 3000 DP seems to be coming up quite often now. Start of your main phase, or on play, or when digivolving, delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon or Tamers, and oh boy, you can trigger this in any order you want to. Inherited effect, end of your opponent's turn. If this Digimon is Belphamon Sleep Mode, trash this Digimon's top stat card. Oh look, the Sweepy Boy is gone, and now it's time for the Rage. And finally, we have the Mad Doctor himself, Akihiro Kurata. For a play cost of 4, start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, set the bad boy to 3. End of your turn, if you have 6 or fewer cards in your hand, by placing this Tamer as the bottom Digivolution card of any of your Digimon with Belphamon in their names. That Digimon may digivolve into a Digimon card with Belphamon in its name in the trash without paying the cost, which, as we've seen before, can be quite interesting. Overall though, it's a good way to loop your cards around, making yourself have a indistinguishably tough Belphamon Rage Mode. Either or though, does this make the 7 Great Demon Lords better? I don't know, but I am willing to try. With Bandai's First Angel coming around for some more support, today we have Lucimon. Play cost of 10, standard, 10,000 DP, standard, Digivolves from a Cupimon for a cost of 5, standard, blocker, breeding, or when digivolving, this Digimon may move. For those of you who don't understand this context, I suppose, this lets you move from the breeding area to the battle area. At least you get a turn 1 block with 10,000 DP, right? End of your turn by returning 5 cards with Lucimon in their text from your trash to the bottom of the deck. This Digimon may digivolve into Lucimon Chaos Mode in the trash without paying the cost. Do not bottom deck your goddamn Chaos Mode that you're digivolving into. It will happen. Inherited effect, Blocker. And with everyone's favourite Devil, Angel, Vampire, we have Dio! Lucimon Chaos Mode. Play cost of 13,000 DP. Digivolves from a level 4, yellow or purple, for a cost of 7, or that Lucimon for a cost of 5, which is actually a level 3. When digivolving, when attacking, by trashing 1 card in your hand, your opponent may delete one of their Digimon, or Tamers. If this effect didn't delete, you recover 1, which has become somewhat standardised in Chaos Mode. All turns, once per turn, when this Digimon would leave the battle area, your opponent may delete one of their Digimon or Tamers. If this effect didn't delete, it ain't moving, baby, with no inherited effect. All in all, pretty standard for what Lucimon's been doing these last few revivals, but actually quite a good card. And now, Lucimon Satan Mode. Play cost of 16,000 DP, Digivolves from a purple level 6 for a cost of 6, or a Lucimon Chaos Mode for a cost of 6. We're just missing out all the even numbers here today. On play, when digivolving by playing 1 Lucimon Lava from the trash to your empty breeding area without paying the cost, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the highest level. When digivolving, when attacking, once per turn, your opponent may delete one of their Digimon or Tamers. If this effect didn't delete, trash their top security, and this Digimon unsuspends. We are back, baby, and we're coming in demon modes. With Bandai revealing more cards from EX10, we have the last 3 cards before we get the big boss Jusmon himself coming in to fill in the gaps. With Weatherdramon for a play cost of 4, 4000 DP, Digivolves from a level 3 yellow for a cost of 2, or any of the standard trait Digimon, which I keep getting told to pronounce correctly, even though the correct term for an abbreviation of standard is STD. We call it STIs now. Security, at the end of battle, play this card without paying the cost. And then on play, or when digivolving, give 2 of your opponent's Digimon security attack -1 until their turn ends. Link for a cost of 2, gain 3000 DP. When attacking, by trashing one of this Digimon's linked cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets 6000 DP minus for the turn, which is nothing to shake a stick at, especially with this deck that looks to drop cards and gain effects. Warpmon for a play cost of 4, 4000 DP. Digivolves me level 3, black for a cost of 2, or the standard line for a cost of 2. Security, at the end of battle, players cover paying the cost, we've seen that before, and has blocker, which, you know, if you're getting a free blocker, there's nothing wrong with that. For an app cost of 2, 3000 DP. When linking, by trashing one of this Digimon's linked cards, de-digivolve effects don't affect one of your Digimon until your opponent's turn ends, which is a pretty good effect, especially in a world where de-digivolve might be becoming more common. And last but no means least, don't look into the sky, it's Cometmon. For a play cost of 8, 8000 DP, Digivolves may yellow or black level 4 for a cost of 4, or a super level for 4, or can app fuse from Warpmon and Weatherdramon for a cost of 0. If 2 such cards are linked together, stack the linked cards on top and digivolve. Collision. On play, when digivolving, you may link 1 level 4 or lower Digimon card from your hand or this Digimon's Digivolution cards to this Digimon without paying the cost. All turns, once per turn, when effects trash any of this Digimon's linked cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 8000 for the turn. Having that mixed up with the Weatherdраmon's minus 6000, you've pretty much just shotgunned the legs off of most Digimon. For a link cost of 3, 4000 DP. All turns, once per turn, when this Digimon would leave the battle area by trashing one of its linked cards, it doesn't leave, and just shoots out all the other effects that will happen because of it. Bless you, my friends, at Bandai. With Bandai taking us down to the last few cards of EX10, today we have what I believe to be the last 3 cards of the Appmon deck. We have God Grade Unleashed, a 2-cost black option card. While you have a Digimon or a Tamer with the Appmon trait on the field, you may ignore this card's colour requirements, which is pretty easy. Main, draw 1, and then place this card in the battle area. That sounds sneakily suspicious, like most of the other ones. All turns, when effects trash any of your Digimon's linked cards, wait a minute, you may link 1 Digimon card with the Appmon trait from your trash to one of those Digimon without paying the cost. Well, as you may have seen some posts around the internet, this is pretty good in not just the Leviathan Appmon deck, it's pretty good in any Appmon deck that has to trash by effect. Yujin Ozora, for a play cost of 3. Start of your main phase, if your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. I'm always down for gaining memory for free. All turns, when effects trash any of your Digimon's linked cards, by suspending this Tamer, you can draw 1, which, I like to refill my hand too, that's pretty good. End of your turn, once per turn, one of your Digimon may app fuse into a Digimon card in the hand, which again is also pretty darn good. And finally, even though he was revealed before through Gen Con, we have Jusmon. For a play cost of 13, 13,000 DP, Digivolves with black level 5 for a cost of 5, or the ultimate trait Appmon for a cost of 5. But may also outfuse with Rudamon and Cometmon for a cost of 0. Security attack +1 and link +1, meaning you can have 2 link monsters instead of just the 1. When digivolving, end of your opponent's turn, you may link 1 Digimon card from your hand to this Digimon without paying the cost. Then, you may link 1 Digimon card from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to this Digimon without paying the cost. All turns, once per turn, when effects trash any of this Digimon's linked cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest play cost. With how this deck wants to cycle its cards going in and out of the deck, linking and dropping, it makes sense of how this top end works. But, will it see much play, or will Gaimon be the best we've got? I do apologise for the late reveals being announced by me today. Today I did have to send off a member of the team as she's leaving us for nightlier arrangements, which to some degree does benefit EX10 somehow. But what we did see today is Cupimon from EX10, and it's purple, so it's going to be heinous. Inherited effect, your turn, once per turn, when any of your Digimon with Lucimon in their names move from the breeding area to the battle area by trashing one card in your hand, draw one, and gain one memory. And if it's one thing that Lucimon loves, it's having a Chaos mode in the trash, ready to pounce at a moment's notice. And our second card for today, as we've gone back to having two reveals per day, Paradise Lost. For a use cost of 2, while you have a Digimon with Lucimon in its name on the field, you can ignore this card's colour requirements. Trash, end of your turn, if you have a Digimon with Lucimon in its name, by returning this card to the bottom of the deck, trash your top security card and one of your Digimon attacks without suspending. Main, until your opponent's turn ends, one of your Digimon with Lucimon, its name gains Raid, Piercing, Blocker, and 3000 DP. Security effect, you may play one Lucimon from your trash, but paying the cost. This has got to be the best costed card ever made. For 2, you get 3 keywords, 3000 DP, and then at the end of your turn, which you probably just ended by spending this 2, get to attack with a Lucimon, get to attack with one of your Digimon on the field without having to suspend. And if it was a Lucimon, it gains all these things here. So you're possibly raiding, you're possibly piercing, you've got blocker for next check, so that way if they have some retaliation, it's a lie, and you're also going to be bigger than them. Not only that, look at the artwork to this card. This man is just demon moding himself. Then again, this is a 7 Great Demon Lords card, after all. Well, Tamers, it's a green day, and that means, between me and you, it's a money printing day, or at least some kind of printing day. With Flickmon, easy now, we've already had some of the sussy stuff this week. Your turn, once per turn. When effects trash any of your Digimon's linked cards, gain 1 memory. And as we've already seen before, this deck kind of likes chucking out cards, so we'll get to that maybe when Deus is released eventually down the line. And Miramon, who may or may not like some other Digimon and pop culture references. For a play cost of 3, 1000 DP, Digivolves Mint Green level 2 for a cost of 0, or a level 2 Atmon, trait for a cost of 0, which so far we have 2 green and 1 yellow, so we will get in there. Your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon gets linked, you may suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, which is pretty good for what this deck wants to do overall, which is suspend things, gain things, trash things, gain memory, pop things, draw a card, you know, the usual stuff that these Atmon decks want to do. For a link cost of 1, gain 2000 DP, and then when attacking by trashing one of this Digimon's linked cards, suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon, which, hold your horses, is pretty much everything this deck has asked for. So, overall, I'm looking forward to the evil side of Atmon. With Bandai already revealing the Super Shiny Extra Special cards in the alternate arts, I thought we'd reveal the Devimon first before we got into the latest alternate art. For a playcost of 3, 1000 DP, Digivolves meet a level 2 purple, and only a level 2 purple, don't try anything else. Start of your main phase, if your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in their trash, trash the top 2 cards of both players' decks. Then, if they have 10 or more cards in their trash, gain 1 memory, which is a fairly good effect. Inherited effect, when attacking once per turn, trash the top card of both players' decks. As you may have already realised, this is part of the weird ongoing Devimon has to mill your life away, going into a Barbamon. I like mill decks, even if I find these mill decks to be a bit weird, but I'll probably give it a go, since we probably have a full mill deck at this point now, that isn't just be able to mill yourself and then deck yourself up by turn 3. So, you know, we'll try something new. And Malamiotismon, a Digimon that only appeared yesterday, to some fanfare and to some confusion, more the whole 3 colour things and the weird effects, as opposed to it being in the set. Overall, it's a very nice, very vibrant card. I expect the in-person one to look a lot nicer than the artwork that we have in the picture. Bearib's doing a great job overall, but unfortunately not really a alter art that sort of draws you in. Again, maybe if we see the alter art in person, it does have nice texturing that amplifies the different fires and the menacing darkness in the background, but either way, it's nice to see Malamiotismon come to play. With EX10 bringing us the last parts of the Malamiotismon deck in this coming set, we're going to start off with the Tamer, Yukio Okawa. For a playcost of 4, at start of your turn, if you have 2 or less memory, set it to 3. All turns, when any of your Digimon with Motismon in their names are played, by deleting this Tamer, one of those Digimon gains Rush for the turn, then gains 1 memory, which is nothing to scoff at. And a little out of place, we're going to go with Venomotismon now, for a play cost of 12,000 DP. Digivolves me purple or green level 5 for a cost of 4. Trash during your main phase by deleting one of your level 5 Digimon with Motismon in its text. Play this card with the play cost reduced by 7, making it a 5 cost Mega. On play, when Digivolving, you may suspend 2 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, then 2 of their Digimon or Tamers can't unsuspend until their turn ends. With, on deletion, delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. Well then, that's an interesting effect, if not too urgent. But we also received the first free colour Mellow Motismon. For a play cost of 14,000 DP, can Digivolve level 5, red, blue, or purple, or Motismon in its name for a cost of 5. Again, following a trash from the main phase effect by deleting 2 of your level 5 or higher Digimon with Motismon in their text, play this card with the play cost reduced by 11, making it a free cost play cost. On play, when Digivolving, when attacking only once per turn, delete 2 other unsuspended Digimon. Any other unsuspended Digimon. Doesn't have to be your own. All turns, once per turn, when any of your other Digimon or Tamers are deleted, trash your opponent's top security stack and return one of the Digimon with the lowest DP to the bottom of the deck. This is honestly a really good effect. Will it see much play? Can it do much in play? We will see coming forth. But it does seem that the villains archetypes from EX10 have come with somewhat of a bang. Good day, Tamers. EX10 has had its last 2 normal card reveals, coming in hard and fast for a very gritty deck, with Tumblrmon showing up as well as the newest Digimon on the block, Magnetic Drummon. He looks better from above, I swear. But Tumblrmon now, inherited effect, opponent's turn once per turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon attacks by trashing 3 mineral or rock trait cards from this Digimon's Digivolution cards, end that attack. Which, in a deck where we like to get rid of our babies and gain memory, it might seem a little bit strange. But in the case of this one, it is carrying on from the tradition of the level 6 said it best: control, control, grit, and control. But the level 7 says no, it's time to play. Magnetic Drummon for a play cost of 14,000 DP. Digivolves me level 6 for a cost of 4. Or, if you have a close, you may Digivolve a Prog Ganomon for a cost of 6. But if you use the option card that we got in this set, maybe for a cost of 3. Fragment free, when Digivolving when attacking by trashing 3 mineral or rock trait cards from any of your Digimon's Digivolution cards, yes, any, delete one of your opponent's Digimon and trash their top security card. Yes, it is that good. When Digivolving when attacking once per turn by placing 3 mineral or rock trait Digimon cards from the trash, as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards, it unsuspends. Now, in the perfect world, you're generally going to do this one after you've attacked the first time, but there will be times where you can't unsuspend with that Pyramidimon. So, when going into this, it will give you that chance to swing one more time. Like the sands of time, it comes for us all. Another day with some EX10 releases. With the Henchman and your boy, it's time to see what the Undead Trio can be up to today. Arukenimon for playcost of 6,000 DP, Digivolves me purple level 4, or a red level 4 for a cost of 4. On play, by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete up to 6,000 DP total worth of your opponent's Digimon, which is actually pretty good. On deletion, you may play 1 Tamer card with the Myotis in its text from your trash without paying the cost. This effect can't play cards with the same name as other Tamers, which means we might get another new Motismon Tamer in this set, if not that we have the 2 from before, so yeah. Mummymon, play cost of 6,000 DP. Digivolves from a black or a purple level 4 for a cost of 4. On play, by trashing 1 card in your hand, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. On deletion, you may play 1 Tamer card with Motismon in its text from the trash without paying the cost. This effect can't play cards with the same name as Tamers you already have. So, again, same as before. And finally for today, Myotismon. For a play cost of 7,000 DP. Digivolves me a purple level 4 for a cost of 3. When this card will be played by deleting one of your Digimon with Motismon in its text, reduce the play cost by 4, which, ironically enough, is the last 2 Digimon we spoke about. On play, on Digivolution, one of your purple Digimon gains blocker and retaliation until your opponent's turn ends. Inherited effect, on deletion, you may play 1 purple Tamer card from your trash, suspended, without paying the cost, which is, it's somewhere, right? But I mean, it's probably on your opponent's turn, so you will unsuspend on your turn, right? But that is it for our Caped Crusader of the Digital Notary. But, fun fact, you may have noticed Beat Break's newest Digimon is a bat that shares a somewhat convincing symbol with the Bat Lord himself. EX10, Puppetmon and Machinedramon coming in heavy today, with Puppetmon being a 11 playcost, 11,000 DP, hand, main. If you don't have any Digimon other than Digimon with Dark Masters in their text, you may play this card with the playcost reduced by 5. At turn's end, delete that Digimon this effect played. On play, when attacking, return one of your opponent's suspended Digimon to the bottom of the deck. All turns this Digimon can only Digivolve into a Pokemon. And then on deletion, if you have no green face-up security cards, place this Digimon face-up as the bottom security card. Security, if this card was face-up, you may play a 1 level 5 or lower card with the Dark Masters in its text from your hand or trash without paying the cost. As we saw yesterday from the Metal Seedramon, and as you'll see again from the Machinedramon. We also have the BT15 support that we already know about, but hopefully we get something else in EX10 to go along with all this fun time stuff. Machinedramon now for a playcost of 11,000 DP. Stop me if you've heard this before. Hand, main, if you don't have a Digimon other than Digimon with Dark Masters in their text, you may play this card with the playcost reduced by 5. At turns and delete the Digimon this effect played, yeah. Play, when attacking, Digivolve 2 of your opponent's Digimon, which is actually a really good effect. All turns, this Digimon can only Digivolve into a Pokemon, again same as the other 3. On deletion, if you have no black face-up security cards, place this Digimon's face up as the bottom security card. And then Machinedramon, security effect, if this card was face up, you may play a 1 level 5 or lower card with the Dark Masters in its text from your hand without paying the cost. Pretty simple, pretty fair, looking forward to trying out this weird level 7 rushdown beatdown deck. With Gen Con spoiling the alternate art for us a little bit earlier than Bandai probably would have liked, as well as a certain secret rare, we knew Piedmon was on the way. But with today's reveals, we do gain ourselves a Piedmon, the most craziest clown since Kafka. For a playcost of 11,000 DP, hand or main, if you don't have any Digimon other than Digimon with Dark Master in their text, you may play this card with the playcost reduced by 5. At turn's end, delete the Digimon this effect played. On play, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Well, that's actually pretty good, but actually takes you back to the original Piedmon, I believe. All turns, this Digimon can only Digivolve into a Pokemon, which is common. On deletion, if you have no purple face-up security cards, place this Digimon face-up as the bottom security card. And, as we've seen before with security, if this card was face-up, you may play 1 level 5 or lower card with Dark Masters in its text from the hand or trash without paying the cost. Luckily this isn't colour restricted, but as we know we do have a purple, a blue, a green, and a black line. We are expecting more to come very soon. But wait, there's more. Spiral Mountain. For a use cost of 3, or you don't have a Spiral Mountain in the battle area, you can ignore this card's colour requirement, which means the first one's free. For free. Main, draw 2 of them things, then place this card in the battle area. End of your opponent's turn, delay, you may play 1 face-up Digimon card with a Dark Master's trait from your security stack without paying the cost. At the end of your turn, delete the Digimon this effect played, which is, kind of what the deck wants you to do, can't have too much advantage now. Security. You may play 1 Digimon card with the Dark Master trait from your hand or trash without paying the cost. Then, add this card to the hand. At turn's end, delete the Digimon this effect played. We're trying to be fair here, guys, but you still get to draw 2. So, for a pot of greed and a decision to make between you and 3 friends, Spiral Mountain is the way to go. Good day, Tamers. It's been a while, but we're finally getting down to the nitty-gritty of the Bagra army with a mix of Twilight and those undead fellas. Skull Nightmon for a playcost of 4, 4,000 DP. Digivolves made black or purple level 3 for a cost of 3, because why not? Or Nightmon in its text for a cost of 2, which is better than 3. On play, when Digivolving, by trashing 1 card in your hand, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a playcost of 4 or less. Bye bye you Floodgate. On deletion, save, which is fairly good. Inherited effect blocker, which will help if you don't have a blocker on its main keywords. Deadly Axemon coming in now for a playcost of 4, 4,000 DP. A Digivolve made at level 3 that is black or purple for a cost of 3, or with the Nightmon in text for a cost of 2. On play, When digivolving, by trashing one card in your hand, you may return one Digimon card with Nightmon in its text or the Bagra Army / Twilight trait from your trash to the hand. On deletion, save, which is still fairly good. Inherited effect, Retaliation, which is really good when paired with the last effect of Blocker. And finally, the big guy we've all been waiting for, although most of us would say he's not too great, Dark Nightmon, play cost of 7, 7000 DP, Digivolves me black or purple level 4 for a cost of 4, or a card with Nightmon in its text for a cost of 3, which is much better. On play, when Digivolving, until your opponent's turn ends, their de-Digivolve effects don't affect one of your Digimon and he gets plus 3000 DP. Making this a 10k Digimon without being able to be de-Digivolved is pretty darn good, especially if you can edge in a level 6 afterwards. All turns, once per turn, when this Digimon would leave the battle area, you may play one play cost 4 or lower Digimon card from its Digivolution cards without paying the cost. Also, as it is part of the Bagra / Twilight range, we do also have Digicross -1 for a School Nightmon as well as a Deadly Axemon, making this a 5 cost to play if you do intend to Digicross with this Digimon. Inherited effect, opponent's turn, once per turn, when one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you may change the target of this Digimon. Having block it in its sources as well as having retaliation means that you can generally block a smaller thing, but if there's a bigger thing that has to attack, you can redirect it into this, or block it whichever way you want to do it around, and have the access to taking it down with you. Overall, a fairly interesting card, but I don't think it quite hits the mark that we needed for the Bagra Army support. With EX10 showing more of that good stuff, today we have Impmon. For a play cost of 4, 2000 DP, Digivolves me level 2 for a cost of 0. When this card is trashed from the deck, you may delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon. Pretty interesting. Start of your main phase, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, which now has become pretty much essentially the best starter rookie. Inherited effect, your turn, for every 10 cards in your trash, this Digimon gains 1000 DP, which is pretty good for a Digimon known to be squishy. Wizardmon, now purple and yellow. Ooh. Play cost of 5, 5000 DP. Digivolve from a level 3 for a cost of 3, yellow and a purple. Digivolving, level 3, evil trait for a cost of 2. When effects trash this card from the deck or security, give one of your opponent's Digimon secret attack -1 till the end of their turn. On play, when Digivolving, by trashing your top security card, trash the top 2 cards of your deck, and all of your opponent's Digimon get -3000 DP for the turn, which is pretty darn good, especially in a meta where quite a lot of wide board small things are going to be happening, with the inherent effect of Barrier, which would be quite interesting for our Beelzemon friend. And then finally for today, Baelmon. For a play cost of 7, 7000 DP, Digivolves from a black or a purple level 4 for a cost of 4, or the Wizard trait for a cost of 3. On play, when Digivolving, trash the top 3 cards of your deck. Then, if you have 5 or more cards in your trash, this Digimon gains Reboot and Blocker until your opponent's turn ends, which will help with the next effect. On deletion, if you have 10 or more cards in your trash, you may play one Beelzemon from your trash without paying the cost. All turns, for every 10 cards in your trash, this Digimon gains 1000 DP. Having a Digimon that wants to smash itself into your security and explode to get out a Beelzemon is already amazing. To then have the option to unsuspend on your opponent's turn and then become a blocker so you can throw yourself in front of the danger is immense. And having it on deletion that isn't your turn or an effect that you give yourself is incredible. I look forward to seeing how much damage the Rush, de-Digivolve, blocking guys can do now with my awesome, cool, control Beelzemon deck. With EX10 showing you more milling options, today we have Pagumon. With the inherited effect of your turn once per turn, when your opponent's deck is trashed from, draw a card, which in this deck is going to happen often. And with Devimon being shown today as the level 4 for the Creepymon or Daemon deck, play cost of 5, 5000 DP, Digivolves my level 3 for a cost of 2. Start of your main phase, or when Digivolving, if your opponent has 10 or fewer cards in the trash, trash the top 2 cards of both players' decks. Then, if they have 10 or more cards in their trash, you may return one card with the Fallen Angel or Undead trait from your trash to the hand. Inherited effect, when attacking once per turn, trash the top card of both players' decks. As you can see, this just synergizes very well with everything else the deck wishes to do, and continues being an absolute powerhouse of pain, milling, and suffering that I truly enjoy. With EX10 dropping more from the hunter side of things, especially those Darn arrivals, today we have Psychmon, Astamon, and Quartzmon coming in a rather menacing fashion that he always does. For a play cost of 4, 1000 DP, Digivolves may green or purple level 2 for a cost of 1, or any level 2 with the save in text. Start off your main phase by trashing one card with save in its text from your hand, draw one, and suspend one of your opponent's Digimon on deletion save. Or you can Digicross for -2 with one Digimon with save in its text, making this a 2-cost drop. Inherited effect, Piercing, which is actually pretty cool for a deck that hasn't had access to Piercing before, as far as I'm aware. Astramon for a play cost of 7, 7000 DP. Digivolves may level 4 green or purple for a cost of 4, but can jump from a Psychomon for a cost of 5, or a level 4 with save in its text for a cost of 3. Fortitude, which is a good keyword that seems to be coming quite a lot in this set. On play, when Digivolving, you may play one play cost 4 or lower card with save in its text from under your Tamers without paying the cost, which is actually pretty good for recursion ability. Inherited effect, Piercing once again. And now, the biggest batter of them all, Quartzmon Ace. Play cost of 9, 15,000 DP, Digivolves from a green or black level 6 for a cost of 5, or can Digivolve from Astramon for a cost of 7 if you have a Ryoma on the field. As per usual, with Ace cards, you can blast Digivolve as well. With on play, when Digivolving, suspend all other Digimon and Tamers. When Digivolving, when attacking once per turn, delete one of your opponent's suspended Digimon. All turns other than this Digimon, no Digimon or Tamers can unsuspend in the unsuspend phase, which continues the trend of Quartzmons going forwards and from the past. I'm very happy to see such a devious Digimon, even though this one won't be removing security faster than you can blink. With Liberators coming in for EX10, making them finally have a good black deck that will be actually pretty good, let's see what today brings us going forwards. With Proganamon doing the usual from a level 5 to a level 7 trick that we see from the other Liberators cards. For a play cost of 7, 7000 DP, Digivolves may level 4 black for a cost of 3. Hand main, if you have a close, by placing one Landramon from your trash as any of your Sunorizamon's bottom Digivolution cards, and this deck physically throws cards away, it Digivolves into this card for a Digivolution cost of 3, ignoring Digivolution requirements. And since close has a memory setter, it's pretty much active on turn 2. On play, when Digivolving, when attacking, by trashing any one mineral or rock trait card from your Digimon's Digivolution cards, one of your such Digimon gains collision, piercing, and 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn, which...
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating.
Yeah, someone's getting poked in the eye. Inherited effect, when effects trash this card from a mineral or rock, trait Digimon's Digivolution cards Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, which we have seen this effect before from the last one, but it's still a very good effect. And the new Pyramidimon, which everyone is saying is very stinky poo-poo. Fragment 3, when Digivolving when attacking once per turn, you may place up to 3 mineral or rock trait cards from your trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards. When Digivolving when attacking, by trashing up to 3 mineral or rock trait Digimon cards from your Digimon's Digivolution cards to one of your opponent's Digimon, reduce the play cost of that Digimon by 2 until their turn ends for each card trashed this way. Now this effect reads very awkwardly, but as of now, what this really does is if you have a 10 play costed Digimon on the field, you then reduce that play cost down to a maximum of, in this case, 4, which then lets the EX8 Sunorizaman and Landramon now delete. So a lot of people here are now already realizing that some of those Megas and level 7 Aces have now become fodder for the Sands of Time. With today's support coming in for the red-black Greymon line, you might think it's for this fella here, as he is kind of the poster for this set. Unfortunately for those out there who are Black or Greymon fans, you are sorely mistaken. In actuality, it's support for him, or him, or him, or him. But let's not take that away from the newest cards we get to see today. With Greymon for a play cost of 4, 4000 DP, Digivolves from black or red level 3 for a cost of 3, or the Agumon name for a cost of 2. With Agumon in name being part of the black box text, it does mean from a X antibody as well as just a regular Agumon. Raid, on play, or when Digivolving, one Digimon gets 3000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. With the inherited effect of all turns this Digimon gains 1000 DP, finally make it on par with some of the support Garurumon got back in the day. And as second and possibly final reveal for today, we have a Metal Greymon. For a play cost of 7, 7000 DP, Digivolves from black or red level 4 for a cost of 4, or a Greymon in name for a cost of 3, that includes X antibodies. Reboot and on play, when Digivolving, give one of your opponent's Digimon collision, and start of your main phase, this Digimon has to attack until their turn ends. Obviously, start of your main phase effects all happen on the opponent's turn, they trigger them the way they want to, but after all those trigger, they have to fight back. Inherited effect, opponent's turn, once per turn. When attack targets change, if this Digimon has Greymon in its name, trash your opponent's top security card. Pairing this with the Metal Greymon X antibody from BT11, you know, that good set. With an inherited of opponent's turn once per turn, when a Digimon becomes unsuspended, if this Digimon has Greymon or Omnimon in its name, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. Makes me feel like we might be reliving the good old days of the 2022 finals. But nonetheless, let it be. It's time to see what we can really do with a new Control Red-Black deck. With Bandai seemingly only doing one drop today, it seems as though we're going deeper into Close's deck, with the big reveal coming tomorrow about what that level 7 could be. Please don't just be a cat. Sunarisamon for play cost of 3, 1000 DP, Digivolves make it black level 2 for a cost of 0. On play, you may place 2 cards with the Mineral or Rock trait from your trash as one of your Mineral or Rock trait Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards, also considered a Mineral type Digimon. Inherited effect, when effects trash this card from a Mineral or Rock trait Digimon's Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost 4 or less. As we've seen with the effects going on from the new Pyramidimon, this makes perfect sense, and having access to 16 of these effects now, possibly, is pretty darn good. What I will say though is I did imagine Sunariser having an effect like this, but I thought it might be on play place itself or one of your other Mineral or Rock types underneath another Rock type or Mineral Digimon, making it so that you're constantly refilling the Pyramidimon to do more shenanigans, but it kind of beat me to the punch. With Landramon, for a play cost of 4, 4000 DP, Digivolves make it black level 3 for a cost of 2. On play, when Digivolving by trashing any one card with the Mineral or Rock trait from your Digimon's Digivolution cards, one of your Digimon with the Mineral or Rock trait gains Reboot or Blocker and plus 3000 DP until your opponent's turn ends, which helps since you're now removing the Gotsumon stuff from this line. Inherited effect, same as the last one, when effects trash this card from a Mineral or Rock trait Digimon's Digivolution cards, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost of 4 or less. And as we've seen, that's still pretty good. If you guys would like to see a little combo video for this, let me know. I still need to do the puppets and the fish, but hopefully once summer holiday is over, I'll have more time to do the fun things like combo videos and how to be the best liberator you can be. Good day, Tamers. Now, I'm as surprised as you are that we're getting this stuff essentially 2 months in advance, but we are getting access to some of the EX10 card reveals already. With Tactimon being our first EX10 reveal from the cycle, I'm also kind of concerned what's going on. For a play cost of 12, 12,000 DP, Digivolves from a black or a purple level 5 for a cost of 4. On play, or when Digivolving, you may choose one of your Digimon, delete the chosen Digimon, and one of your opponent's Digimon with as high or low a level as it. All turns, once per turn, when any of your Bagra Army trait Digimon would leave the battle area by effects, by trashing any 2 of this Digimon's Digivolution cards, they do not leave. And then for the added bonus, Digicross -2. 2 cards with the Bagra Army trait. When this would be played, you may place specified cards from your hand or battle area under it. Each one reduces the play cost by 2. A fairly good Tactimon. Bagra coming in now for a play cost of 13, 13,000 DP, Digivolves from a purple level 5 for a cost of 5. On play, when Digivolving, you may place one of your opponent's Digimon as any of their other Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, or under their Tamers. All turns, once per turn, when any of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers Digivolve, or effects place cards under them, by trashing any 2 of this Digimon's Digivolution cards, trash your opponent's top security card. Digicross -2, 2 Digimon cards with the Bagra Army trait. An actual suitable upgrade for Bagramon. And then finally, Darkness of Bagramon, which, for a play cost of 16, 16,000 DP, Digivolves from a level 6, black or purple. On play, when Digivolving, choose one card in your opponent's hand without looking and place it as any of their Digimon's bottom Digivolution card or under any of their Tamers. Then, by placing 3 Bagra Army trait Digimon cards from your trash as this Digimon's top Digivolution cards, delete one of their Digimon or Tamers with cards under it. All turns, Digimon gains all turns effects of all level 6 Bagra trait Digimon cards in the Digivolution cards. Digicross -3 for a Bagra and a Dark Nightmon. Overall, This is a great upgrade to the original Darkness background mod, and possibly have to change our stance on how we did the whole hand reveal and hand rip video last year. But I'm looking forward to seeing what the Prince of the New Darkness can do for us now. With EX10 finally done, it's now time to show off the beautiful alternate arts that are coming with this set. Every single artist has once again produced some of the most spectacular, gorgeous, beautiful and creative artworks we've seen for this card game. And I can't believe they keep getting away with it every single time. But there is one card I wish had a little bit more love, and that would have been Beelzebub Ace. The alternate art is fantastic, but an SP could have gone all the way.
Oh, hail the glory of the big titty girl mummies!